Hey YouTube, Flyer 556 back again. It's a cold January winter day here in New Jersey, January 2015, so I figured it'd be a good day to do a review on one of my newer purchases of firearms, which is a Smith & Wesson model 586-8 357 Magnum. I bought this gun about 6 months ago in June, late June of 2014. Now it's January 2015. Cold as hell out, so I figured it'd be a good day to take this thing out and do a quick review on it and let you guys know what I found with it. And that's what I'm going to do here today. So here it is, Smith & Wesson 586-8 357 Magnum. This gun was introduced in 1980. They made 4 versions of it. They made a 581, a 586, a 681, and a 686. The difference in the 581 and the 586 was simply the 581 had fixed sights on it and the 586 had adjustable sights on it. That was really the only difference. The 681 and 686 were pretty much the same thing, only in stainless. They were built on a stainless frame. The 681 had fixed sights, the 686 had adjustable target sights like this, only they were in stainless. Then they brought out what was called the 686 Plus. It was, again, a stainless version, only the 686 held 7 rounds. So basically, they were introducing a line of five new guns in 1980. The 581 and 681 was dropped in 1988. They just continued with the 586, the 686, and the 686 Plus until the late 90s. Then they discontinued the 586 and they continued to make the 686 and the 686 Plus to present. I don't know why they discontinued them, but they did. And at the time when they discontinued this, I had a choice. I could have bought this or I could have bought the Colt Python, and I had no idea they were going to discontinue either one, so I chose the Python back in late 1999, not knowing that they were going to discontinue any of these guns. But I liked the Python. It was double the money. Back then in 99, this gun here, the 586, was going for around 500 bucks, and the Python was $1,000. The Python always was more than this, but at the time I liked the Python. I went with it, I bought it, and shortly after I bought the Python, they discontinued the Python and they discontinued this. So anyhow, over the years, I kind of just let the Python lay and hung on to it, and it really increased in value, and I just kind of chose not to shoot it for about, I don't know, maybe 15 years or so. And as I got more and more into reloading, I wanted to start shooting more 357 and 38, and I really didn't want to shoot the Python because it went up 3 to 4 times in value since I had it, and I never fired mine, and it was one of the last ones ever made by Colt. I have the Python Elite Custom from the Colt Custom Shop, which was the last line that they made before they completely discontinued it. Now I really want to keep this video geared more towards this gun. I'm just telling you why I bought this gun. They reintroduced this gun, the 586, which is the 586-8 in 2012, and they put it under a line called their Classic Revolver line. And I did a lot of research on what I could buy. Like nowadays, in 2014, it's 2015 now, but in 2014 I was looking into what I could buy as an alternative so I didn't have to shoot my Python. And I kind of liked what I saw with this. There's a couple things I didn't like, but you really didn't have a choice in the matter if you were going to go this route. They only offered it in a -8, which is what this is here. So looking at everything that was out there on the market, I chose this, and I'm happy I did. I don't have really any complaints with it. There's a couple things I don't like, but like I said, if you go this route, you're just gonna have to deal with it and suck it up and deal with it, and that's that. And that's why I'm doing this review, to show you what it's got, what it doesn't got, and what I like and don't like, and what I think about it overall. And I'll go over some of the ammo that I've shot through it, and that's it. Basically, like the rest of my videos, a review on this gun today. So that's the reason why I bought it, was so I could preserve my Python. And I guess we'll start with going over this side of it, and then I'll go over the other side of it, and then we'll go over some of the ammo, and I'll do a couple comparisons to other revolvers I have with it and with them, and that'll pretty much sum this video up. So anyhow, this is the left side of the gun. This is the left side of the 586-8. I guess I'll start, we'll start over here with the stocks. Pretty nice wood, they're checkered. Moving up, you got your standard Smith & Wesson cylinder release there. Forged trigger, forged hammer. This is one of the things right here that I'm not too crazy about. With the -8, that little circle above the cylinder release is a key lock. What that is, actually you can see what it operates also. That little piece of steel sticking up outside the frame next to the hammer is a flag. When you stick the key in this lock and turn it, it raises that flag, and what that does, in the lock position, the flag comes up, and it makes it where the trigger and the hammer, you can't operate either one. It's in the lock position, it's locked out. I guess you could call it locked out, tagged out, more or less. And that's one of the things I don't like, but I don't use it. I'm not going to lock it to show you, because I never intend on using it, and I don't want to use it. I'm just letting you know about it. You can expect this if you buy a -8 586. The earlier versions, like the -3 and the -4, they don't have this. If you don't want this, if you really don't want this, you're going to have to go with a used gun, because they don't offer that anymore. But it is still available out there. You can find them. I'm not too big on the used guns, so that's why I went with this one. So that's the key, the deal with the key lock. It's on the left side, right above the cylinder release, and that's how it works. It raises that flag, and that disables the trigger and the hammer, so it can't be cocked, can't be fired. Sights, it's got a fully adjustable rear sight here in the rear with a white outline on the back. I'll show you that when I pick the gun up. It's got the standard raised red ramp, as most of the Smith revolvers have. It's pinned, permanent, not adjustable. Okay, another thing about this, this is an L-frame gun. When this gun was originally made, it was known as the Model 27 was the original. That was an N-frame. It was a bigger frame, and a lot of people didn't like it, civilian and law enforcement, because they said it was rather on the heavy, bulky side. So Smith came up with this idea when they first brought this thing out. They brought this out because they also made this gun in what was known as a K-frame. That's a lighter frame than this, for an alternative to the 27 N-frame. What they were finding with the K-frame is people that were shooting full house, full power 357s on a regular basis, it was just taking its toll on the gun and the shooter. It just really couldn't handle the full house Magnum rounds. So as an alternative to that, they came up with this, which was the L frame they introduced. It's kind of in the middle of the two. It was lighter than the 27, which is an N frame, and it was a little beefier than the K frame. It was just an all-around, it just worked out well all around. And what distinguishes this is the full underlug, as you can see here. The underlug covers the complete bottom of the barrel, and that's a distinguishment of the L frame. Most of the L frames all have that full underlug. I just wanted to mention that. It is an L frame. I guess now I'll turn it around, show you guys the other side, because that pretty much sums up this side. Let me flip it around and let you see the other side. Okay, here goes the right side of the gun. Let's see what we can talk about here. Same as the other side on the wood. Nice wood, decent checkering. As it says here, made in USA, Springfield, Massachusetts. Still get that with it. Got your raised red ramp sight. Smith & Wesson on the barrel on this side. Cylinder, trigger, a hammer. You don't see the flag on this side. I'll show you that better when I pick the gun up. I'll show you, you can see it better if I turn it to the back. When I show you the rear, I'll show you that when I do the comparison. Okay, pretty much that's the 586. I shot this thing, I'd say somewhere between 500, 700 rounds so far in the last 6 months. I shot a real variety of ammo through it. I'm going to run through that quick, show you what I've run through it, and show you a few targets when I get on the other side of the camera. And we'll go with that. So now I'm going to show you some of the ammo that I've run through this. Let's see, we'll start over here. These are some 38 special loads that I reload. They're copper flat points, 125 grain. They shoot well. I load them with Unique and CFE pistol. That's a new powder I've been experimenting with. It's been working well for me. I shot a lot of those through it, and when I got into bullet casting, these are some of my cast bullets that I reloaded. On the right, the two on the right are 158 grain lead semi-wad cutters. They make a nice clean round hole in the paper. They're very accurate, and I shot quite a few of these through it. And then to the left of them is a 158 grain lead round nose that I also cast myself and loaded myself. I wanted to load some of these because this was the round that law enforcement used for many years in the 38. So I wanted to get the mold for these and cast a whole bunch of these and load them up and shoot them and see how they work. They work pretty well. They just don't make quite as clean of a hole. I like the semi-wad cutters because they make a nice clean round hole in the paper. Otherwise they both shoot good, they're both accurate, and they're both 158 grain. Moving over here, these two are some factory. I didn't load these. These are some factory 357 Magnum. On the left, that's a 158 grain hollow point Federal, and on the right, that came out of the box behind it, that's a 110 grain jacketed Winchester 357 Magnum. Now moving over to the left a little bit more, these are some of my reloaded 357s. These are the bullets I loaded in them. The same bullets that I load in them 38s, I loaded into these. I put one side by side to show you the difference. The 357 is about an 1/8 inch longer than the 38. They can both be shot out of this, as you all know. 38, 357, it's the same diameter. And a 357, you can shoot either or. There's just a difference of about an 1/8 of an inch in case length. The reason for that is so that you don't accidentally drop a 357 in a 38, because it definitely would blow the gun up. So they made it like that, so it can go either way in a 357, but so that you can't put a 357 in a 38. These are both loaded by me. They're 125 grain flat point copper plated bullets. As I said before, they shoot well. I load them, again, both with Unique and CFE pistol. I've had good results with both. So that's the deal with the ammo. It does give you a lot of variety. as you see here, you can shoot anywhere from 110 grain, 125 grain, 158 grain, and from what I understand, I'm seeing that there's even a couple manufacturers making 200 grain now in 357. So there's a lot of variance, a lot of variety in this caliber. That's why I like it. I own 2 of these guns, and I like them because there's a lot of variety there. For a new shooter, you could light load at 38s, shoot it all day long, they'll enjoy it. And for the more serious shooter, you can load some full house, high power 357, light bullets with high charges, and go all the way with it. So that's the deal on the ammo. That's the gun and the ammo. And here's another look at it before I move around to the other side of the camera. The Smith 586-8, there it is. Alright, I'm going to back the camera up a little bit now. Try and get on the other side of the camera, hold it up. Do a couple comparisons with a couple other revolvers, and wrap this video up after that. So let me back up the camera, reposition a couple things, get on camera and try and show you a little more about this thing. Move that up. Come over here. This side of the way. Okay, here it is. Let you see this side. Let you see this side. There's a close-up on that key lock so you can see. And you see the arrow above it? That's how you would engage it and raise the flag and lock out the hammer and the trigger. I'm not going to do it because I never intend on using it. That's the only thing I really don't like about this gun. But if you want a new 586, it's the only way you're going to get it nowadays. So I went with it. There's a forcing cone. Another shot of the cylinder. Okay. One of the guys I shoot with in Pennsylvania was there one day with me when I got this, and he asked me if he could try it out. I don't know, he shot about 4 or 5 magazines. I told him help yourself, have fun. And he asked me where I got it, what I paid. I paid $7.99 for this without the tax or the NICS check. With the tax and NICS check, it was just under $900 out the door. So he was so impressed with the accuracy and the recoil and the way it felt and the way it shot. He asked me a few more questions and where I got it, and I told him I bought it at Heritage Guild in Branchburg, New Jersey, and I do most of my shooting in Pennsylvania in Easton, and they have a Heritage Guild right there in Easton, very close to the range. And he was like, would you mind going over there and looking at a couple guns and seeing if they have one of these? I'm really interested in buying one. I like it a lot. And we took a ride over there, and they had this, and they had a 44 629, which I also have. And he asked me what I thought about it. It was used, and he got a really good deal on it, and he liked this so much he bought one. So with that said, it's got to say something. I'm just letting you know. He never shot a revolver. He's got a lot of semi-autos, and he shot it, he tried it, he liked it so much, he immediately bought one. I just want to show you a quick look at the sights from the rear. That's the sight picture. Okay, you got your white outline and your red ramp in the front. That's what that looks like. Try to give you a better view on a black background. I can't really see too good. That should be pretty good. That's about what you'd be looking at, looking down the sights right there. Okay? That's your sights, that's the front. I guess now I'm just going to do a quick comparison with a couple other revolvers I got to let you see the difference in the size. What they look like together to give you an idea. And I'll wrap it up after that. So here we go. This is my Colt Python. Okay, I got a video on this. I don't want to talk too much about this. If you want to check this out, check out my video on the Colt Python. That's it. I just bringing this out to give you an idea of the difference in the size and the way they look together. That's the Colt and that's the Smith together. They're very close in size, pretty much identical. Okay, the two together that way, the two together this way. Okay, from the rear. It's the front of both. They both got the full underlug, so very similar. It's just I just don't want to shoot this because of the value of it. This is going to be a regular, every weekend shooter gun. Last but not least, here's my model 2944. Actually, it's a 629 because it's the stainless version. A little bit of difference there. This is an N frame. That's the difference between the N frame and the L frame. It's a much beefier cylinder and the frame is chunkier, as you can see. This is an 8-inch barrel, 8 3/8. Not really trying to discuss the barrel, I'm trying to discuss the frame, the N frame and the L frame. That's the differences, just a little comparison there. You can see that the N is much beefier than the L. Okay, this is the L, this is the N. So that's the comparison there. L, N. L, N. Both Smiths. And as you can see with the N frame, it's only a partial underlug, whereas the L frame, it's got that full lug barrel, like I mentioned before. I don't know, I guess that's about it. Not much more to talk about. I just wanted to show you a little comparison of the three guns. Let you know what I think about this thing. I'm really pretty impressed with it. Here goes a couple targets just to show you. This is the third target I ever shot with it. These were all shot at 10 yards. This was 38 158 grain lead semi-wad cutters that I showed you earlier at 10 yards. This is the third target I ever shot with it. This is the fourth target I ever shot with it. This is 38 125 grain plated that I showed you. Okay, that's the fourth target that I ever shot with it at 10 yards. This here is the fifth target. These were 38 158 grain lead. I think these were the round nose jobbers. This is the fifth target I ever shot with it, with the round nosers at 10 yards. And this is the sixth target that I shot with it. One flyer on that one. These were loaded with CFE. This is when I first started trying out the CFE. These were also 158 grain lead semi-wad cutters, but I loaded these with a different powder. This is that new Hodgdon CFE pistol powder. The first time I shot it in 38. So I have one flyer on that one, but as you can see at 10 yards, every one's a dead bullseye. So that's it, everybody. That's the 586-8. That's my review on this cold, snowy, wintry New Jersey January 2015 day. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna have one coming up next on a Ruger SP101. That'll be my next video. Okay? 586-8. It's a nice gun for the money. And if you're in the market for a 357, I'd definitely look at one of these, because they may discontinue it again and then you'll be out of luck. So check it out. Happy shooting. As I always say, be safe. Do a lot of shooting and a lot of reloading, and shoot it up and be safe.